Once upon a time, in a cozy little neighborhood where every house had a story to tell, there lived a beagle named Snoopy. But he wasn't just any dog. Oh no, Snoopy was a dreamer, a dancer, and a believer that every day could be an adventure. One bright morning, as the sun peeked through his red doghouse window, something magical happened. He opened his eyes, yawned a big sleepy yawn, stretched his paws, and suddenly felt a sparkle of joy bubbling inside him. It started in his tail, a little wiggle, then moved to his paws, a tiny tap tap tap, and before he knew it his whole body was dancing. Snoopy couldn't help himself. His heart was beating to the rhythm of an invisible tune that only he could hear. Oh boy! He barked happily, twirling and hopping around. Today feels like a dancing day. He jumped off his doghouse roof, landed with a little spin, and started swaying to the beat only his heart knew. His floppy ears bounced up and down, his nose twitched to the rhythm, and his tail became the perfect little metronome. Then came his best friend, Woodstock, flapping his tiny wings and chirping along. Snoopy clapped his paws, and Woodstock did a little wiggle midair. Together, they looked like the happiest dance duo in the whole wide world. They twirled through the yard, around the flowers, past Linus and his blanket, and even made Lucy laugh, and that was rare. Wherever they danced, smiles bloomed like sunshine. Happiness, it seemed, was catching. Meanwhile, inside his house, Charlie Brown was deep in thought. The teacher had given everyone a task. Tomorrow, she had said, is Smile Day. Each of you will bring or show something that makes you truly happy. Easy for everyone else, thought Charlie Brown. Lucy would probably show off her psychiatric help booth. Linus would bring his trusty blanket. Peppermint Patty would brag about her baseball skills. But what about him? He sat at his desk, tapping his pencil, thinking hard. Maybe my kite? He wondered. But then he remembered the tree, the one that always ate his kite. Maybe baseball? But the thought of all those missed catches made him sigh. Maybe kicking the football? He shook his head. Not with Lucy around. Poor Charlie Brown sighed so deeply it made his hair move. Looks like I've got nothing to show, he whispered. Just then, a cheerful sound floated in through the window. A bouncy rhythm, a happy tune, and the sound of tiny paws tapping on the ground. Curious, Charlie leaned closer to the window. And there, under the morning sun, was Snoopy, twirling, leaping, and spinning in perfect time with Woodstock's happy chirps. Snoopy lifted his paw and did a graceful spin. Woodstock zoomed in circles, and they both ended their dance with a bow so funny that Charlie burst out laughing. For a moment, the world felt lighter. His heart warmed, the sadness disappeared, and suddenly he knew. He didn't need something fancy to make him smile. Happiness was right there, in the silly, joyful dance of his best friend. The next morning, at school, everyone was buzzing with excitement. Lucy showed her award-winning smile, and then complained when no one clapped. Linus demonstrated how his blanket could turn into a superhero cape. Sally sang a little song about sweet baboos. One by one, everyone shared what made them happy. Then, it was Charlie Brown's turn. He stood up, holding his paper nervously. His cheeks were a bit pink, and his hands shook just a little. What makes me happy, he began, is my dog Snoopy. But not just any Snoopy, the dancing one. Everyone tilted their heads. The dancing one? Peppermint Patty asked. And right then, as if on cue, the classroom doors burst open. Snoopy slid in on one paw like a superstar, and Woodstock followed with a dramatic flutter. Hit it, Woodstock! Barked Snoopy, and the little bird started chirping a jazzy beat. Snoopy twirled, leaped, moonwalked, and even did a paw stand. The whole class exploded with laughter and clapping. Charlie Brown couldn't stop smiling. He laughed so hard he had to wipe away tears. And when Snoopy struck his grand finale pose, one paw up, nose pointed to the sky, Woodstock balancing on his head like a shining yellow star, everyone shouted, "Bravo, Snoopy! Bravo, Charlie Brown!" It was one of those moments that sparkle forever. The kind that fills your chest with warmth and makes your cheeks hurt from smiling. For the first time, Charlie Brown didn't feel unlucky or unsure. He felt proud. He had shared something that came straight from his heart. The joy of seeing his best friend being exactly who he was. After class, Snoopy and Woodstock celebrated with a little encore dance in the schoolyard. The kids joined in too. Even Lucy tried to do a spin and almost fell over. The playground became a swirl of laughter, dancing feet, and pure happiness. From that day on, whenever Charlie Brown felt sad or worried, he didn't look for something big to cheer him up. He'd simply glance out the window, see Snoopy wiggling his paws and bouncing his ears to some imaginary beat, and smile. Because he'd learned something beautiful. Happiness doesn't need to be perfect or big. Sometimes it's just a silly dance, a wagging tail, or a friend who makes you laugh. And as the sun set that evening, Snoopy climbed back on top of his red doghouse, stretched out under the golden sky, and looked at Woodstock, who was dozing on his belly. "You know what, buddy?" Snoopy said softly. "I think happiness really is a dancing dog." Woodstock chirped sleepily in agreement, and together, they drifted off to sleep, dreaming of more dances, more laughter, and more smiles to come. Because after all, happiness isn't something you find. It's something you dance into. So, if you're watching this right now, remember Snoopy's lesson. Dance a little, smile a lot, and never be afraid to be silly. And hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our happy little corner of YouTube. And now it's your turn. Tell us in the comments. What makes you smile? Is it your pet? Your favorite song? A funny dance? Or maybe jumping in puddles on a rainy day? Share your joy with us. We love reading every single one.